Hello, my grateful friends. So one more week passed since I did a video, and thank you for watching, everyone. And this time, I've been thinking the whole week that I'm going to talk to you about why and how am I traveling. So stay tuned. So a little bit of the background about when have I started traveling. Actually, my biggest passion for traveling started when I was 20 years, quite long time ago. And it was my very first trip and a big trip to Tallinn. When I was a student, I got an opportunity to be as Erasmus student, and actually I went there without knowing English. And if you know, there is like classification, actually levels of any language in the Europe, which is like A1 is the lowest, and then C2 is the highest. So A1, A2, B1, B2, and C1, C2. So the moment when I was going to Tallinn, to Estonia, I little really knew English. But actually I wasn't speaking at all, and I was texting. Actually, was sending letters, emails at that time already for my tutor by using Google Translate. So you can imagine how my English looked like at that time. It was horrible. It was horrible, but I learned the language quite fast. Actually, within 1 month, I studied it hard. I was translating all academic papers which I had really hardly, because I was dedicated. I want to learn a language. I want to understand the grammar, all tenses, to know all the meanings behind the words, so that I could know at least what can I use while speaking. And after 1 month, actually, I was brave enough to go and speak and use the language, because I was a little bit more confident that I had a baggage which I can use while speaking. And actually, I should tell you that it took me 2 months in total free, and I came back home by having B2 level. So basically, from A1 to B2, I stepped for I reached how to say, it's like okay, I did I learned that fast that I overcome 4 levels of language, which I was so proud of myself, and I'm telling everyone this story. But besides that, it also gave me a courage to travel, and then it started my biggest probably university studies of all. So what do I get when I traveling? So, and why do I travel? And I would say that the main reason why am I traveling, so it's people that I discover, people that I get to know about, because I do meet a lot of wonderful people which I keep in my heart, because they become very dear to me, and we still keep in contact after lots of time. I have friends for 6 years, for 9 years, even from my Erasmus time, when I started the university, when I started my Erasmus program. Since then, I still keep in a contact, which is amazing. And I think this is the biggest thing which I can get, or you can get, while traveling. And the best thing actually you can do, and you can get, and I get, is discovering yourself. Because when you go abroad, especially to the place you don't know anything about, you can get to know yourself that well, that because there are so many stressful situations, and it depends only from you how you're going to look at the situation. Because, for example, like 2 months ago, I traveled to Poland, and I decided that I'm not going to use any I'm not going to use an internet. I read before, I did a little bit of a research, how should I get from A to B, and that's it. And the rest I decided that whatever happens during my trip, I will ask, because I have an opportunity to speak. I'm not stupid, so I can go after people and ask for their help. Yes, I got lost several times, and yes, I asked people, how should I get to that point? And everybody helped me and were really, really kind. And this is the lesson for everybody, and to me, that we shouldn't be afraid to ask for a help. I mentioned in the previous video as well that people like to be asked for the help, because in that way we feel important. So that's why I'm asking for the help, and people helping me, either I'm on a trip or on a daily basis, and there is nothing scary and there is nothing to be ashamed about. So in this way you discover yourself. How do you act in a stressful situations? Actually as well, you grow a lot, especially, for example, if you go to any project like I do now, and you meet like 30 people from different countries with different cultures and understanding. And if you pay attention, what are we talking about, how do we act, what do we speak, and what is important to them, you discover so much and you learn so much within a short period of time that you couldn't learn while being in your country. And I think this is the best what you can do and give to yourself while going abroad and putting yourself in a situation which are really uncomfortable. It gets you out of your comfort zone, but this is when your growth starts. You got to know two main reasons why I love to travel. But now is of course the biggest question to answer: how do I travel? And actually, before, I used to travel by using my own money, because I worked, and I worked like in a paid job, and of course I earned decent money, and actually I could afford to travel once a month, which I did for past few years, and I'm so happy that I did. But I didn't see the big progress in this kind of style which I was traveling. And actually last year I discovered the opportunity to go on Erasmus Plus projects, and in these projects not only you get everything covered, but you go there for 1 week and you get to meet loads of amazing people. You get to learn something. What is this project about? For example, I learned so much about how to deliver the training, about immigration, about different kind of tools, how to work with them during the training, what is best for the youth or for the adults. So I had loads of different information, which is really, really useful. And for example, the next training which I'm going to about entrepreneurship for 10 days, very intensive training. Probably I will die, but if I got an opportunity, I will take it. But what I wanted to say, that in these projects, I think that I grow much more, and in a way, in actually faster way than if I could do that while traveling solo or with my friends, which I still do, because me and my bestie, we are going to Italy. But actually, even we are going to Italy to visit my Italian mama, which I met while I was also spending my time in Brighton. In Brighton, where I was a group leader with the students who were going to learn the language in different summer camps. And I'm so grateful that we are still in contact for 4 years with my Italian mama, even though I visited her once and she had never visited me. But between actually these years, I think it was 2016 when we met in the UK, and she came from Brighton, I came from another city, and we met in the middle, which was so amazing. So you see, you get such a dear friend, such a dear people to your heart, which you would never ever meet in your country while being here. Or for example, you even go out, you quit the job, and the people you thought were your friends, they might never stay in your life, and that's okay, because you can get to know and to meet so amazing people while you travel. So yeah, one of the things which I do nowadays, it's going to different projects. Another thing which is, I think, very useful is to go and stay on Airbnb. And in this way you can get to know, I think, more deeper cultures of of that particular country. And if you choose to stay with somebody, for example with the owner in the same apartment or the house, I think you can get a lot of useful information. You can talk about the culture, about their traditions, get to know, you know, political situation, anything what is in your interest. And I think this is really amazing opportunity to save as well the money on hotels, because what I like also about the Airbnb, that you can have a kitchen and you can cook, and then you don't need to spend a lot of money on the restaurants where you don't know what the quality of the food is, but instead you get to cook by yourself, and you have more space. Of course, depends how much, what kind of space do you choose, but still you are the owner of the place. So this is really cool opportunity. And another way, of course, which I used to do before, and I know lots of my friends doing, is a couch surfing. So it's like a free couch in somebody's place. So what do? You register yourself, and if you allow people to come into your apartment and to stay for the night, we leave you a nice review, so that other people can see that you're a nice host. And if you go to another country, they would be happy to accept you if they have available place. So I think it's really nice an opportunity. And as well, I heard a lot of stories that these people who accept you and let you stay in their place, they usually are willing to show you around and to tell lots of good things. So I think this is as well very nice opportunity to discover the world and yourself as well. And the last thing which I want to mention for you, because I got to know yesterday, and I did a research on this website called workaway.info. So this is, I think, a nice opportunity to go to learn the language first, to get some opportunity to learn something, or to be a host as well. So it's basically you register yourself, you pay 29 euros, and then you get opportunity to find a host in a different countries, any country you want, for specific period of time, to work there, to help them, to volunteer, or just to go and learn the language for free. All you have to do is to buy a ticket, and then the rest probably is covered. But of course, you have to have some extra money for your leisure time. Here it is, my answers to the question why and how do I travel. And of course, I would like to mention that always look for the tickets in advance, because usually they are cheaper, or get notifications from airlines where they, especially Ryanair or Wizz Air, send you notifications about different sales, and indeed you can get really cheap tickets. I don't say that it's the most comfortable airlines, but you can travel really cheap, and especially if it's not a really long distance, that's okay. If it's a longer distance, I would suggest you to use more fancy airlines, especially to take a business class, where you get totally different experience, which you can see I really enjoyed in Turkey while taking Turkish Airlines business class. It was amazing, and I never had the shower in the airport. So you see, you can still have your first times. So my grateful friends, I'm really grateful that you were watching. I hope you find it useful, and if you have any tips about the traveling, which of course you have, please let me know in the comments below, because I think me and other people who were watching this video will find it useful, because you never know. And maybe if you want somebody to come and visit you, it could be an opportunity to meet somebody. Or if you want to visit any country, maybe there will be people who would like to host you. So you never know. So if you have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer them. And if not, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!